Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have one vowel on the rack, and I might have to burn the blank to be able to score. Cells for 20. Okay, not a bad draw from those 5 tiles. But do I have a bingo? Not seeing a 7, and that useful E no longer available, so perhaps the U or the S. I have the un prefix, under, I have the under component. Just not seeing it. I'm thinking of mold for 25. What about remold? 31. Terrible pickup. I draw 3 N's. Well, 2 N's to accompany the one I already had. So this will take some sorting out. And I might even exchange if I don't spot a suitable move, because the rack leave is going to be pretty ropey no matter what I do. I guess it depends on what opponent plays, but I'd like to keep RAT. Yeah, that hasn't helped me in the slightest. And I think I'll keep RAT and get rid of the rest. I could keep an N, but there are 3 N's to come, so I'll just keep those 3. I draw the J and the F, so it does not look like I'll be bingoing anytime soon. I have the 5-letter word fjord, Fjord. That doesn't appear to play anywhere great at this point. I can't play parallel to Viva because of the V restriction. Looking at a 5-letter play, perhaps starting with a vowel. No, not seeing anything decent there. Looking at J plays through the I. JAI doesn't look great to me. What about tame and Taj? .24. It's a mediocre score, but it's not terrible. What about JARP? 29, slightly better. Yeah, I'll go with this. It also restricts what opponent can do above the T. Okay, I've got the UW combo, which is not great, but I have the out prefix. Fade out if the W were an E, and I have waff on the rack. Good way of getting rid of the W and F in one hit. 4 is also good. F-A-W. That's not a bad set of 4 letters considering the starting point of the rack. Still looking at parallel plays next to Jop. And what about 6-letter plays beginning with an R? Not seeing it. 4 is an option. 32. That will give back some scoring. Okay, 4 now does play. It does play parallel and scores quite well. And I don't mind the rack leave. Fuat is also good, but 31. No, I think 4 looks okay as long as I dodge these 2 U's. 36. I do dodge the U's, that's great. And the rack is pretty bingo-y. But is there a 7? I think Duettino threw another T. Yeah, as an 8. So that's no T's available, but I don't think there's a 7 here. Out dine. I'm only seeing Duettino. No T provided by opponent. He does provide a Y. Not seeing great plays through the Y. Now, where are the hot spots? I don't have an L for going after Jiao. There's a strong Z play through this O that I have to be semi-aware of. Day. I wonder if day is worth doing. Nah, that creates another Z hotspot. What about undo? 22. Reduit. 29. I'm going with this. Not a good pickup at all. Duplicating O's and N's. Canoe. I'm still concerned about this hotspot going through to the double word square with a Z. That's a potential 50-point play. Now, do I have that? T looks good. Con note. That's a 7. Oh, he's bingoed there. Tar seals. So I'm now on the back foot. Still no L for going at the back of Jiao. don't see great options here, I must be honest. What about a C play ending in an L? 6 letters. Okay, wow, I just cannot see can. There will be a best play, but I'm not seeing it. Kino. Jeez, that feels weak. 16. Seconda. Secondal? No. Coniad. Seconda. Codanas through an I. Oh, almost works. Codanas and oceanids. And also oceanids doesn't work. Secondi is good with an I, but I don't think secondo. Seconda, no. Just looks wrong. Dracones through an R. No R available. What about the V? Cove. What about something ending in an S? Anacondas. What am I missing here? Seconda is not good. But there is a 7 here. I'm almost sure of it. Gotta watch my time. What about the Y? Looks unlikely. I can't see it. I'm just going with CODs. It feels weak, but it scores okay. 40 points. Oh, FO. CADs. That's what I meant. Now, I think CADs takes an E. ECAD is good, but I don't know if ECAD takes an S. Now this Z hotspot's still looming. Yeah, there we go. Zoner looks fine. Val heavy, partly my own fault. Foine is good. Foine. Foine fine. I don't think I have a play on top of cads, unless it's something like neef, but I don't know if ecad does take, it opens an easy scoring spot. I don't know if ecads is even good. What are the other options? Foin, perfect. 41. Oh, I thought foin was good. Maybe it's with a Y. Foyne. Pheno is fine though. Actually, I might get rid of one of the E's. Fine, because there's a few E's to come and only one O. Still vowel heavy and a blank unseen. Scores are more or less level. And this is not a good rack for scoring with. Yeah, this is not looking good. I actually can't spot a decent play here. I wonder if I should change. I mean, I can score geo and game, but there's an X on. Oh no, I can't do that. I think I will change here. What's the best I can do? Eine. 8 points. Tig is good. Tige. Yeah, I'll go with Tig. Wow. Just can't get scoring tiles. Not that there are that many left, but the X is going to be crucial, I'd say, here. Donny. Donne. No, Don. Onioned. Wow, I've got a bingo on my rack. If ecads is good, this will come down and it'll be my saving grace. Is there another spot for onioned? Wow, look how the game has heated up. Opponent now has probably a hot play on the top there, but what can I do with my G? And I'm low on time, so AE, that's where the story ends. 13's not good enough. Recads, no good. Nothing there. Jows doesn't take anything. Cheese is good, but zoners. Wow, I can't see a decent play here. What about given? But opponent might block that one. I'll do given, because I'm just too low on time. There probably is a better play somewhere, but pretty close the scores. Our opponent might go out. If he doesn't, I surely can with AI. I have tame and tie. Hudge. No, nothing after Jows. X, nothing. Kino 6. Zoners and AIS. That'd be the play. Definitely. Or Sai, SAI, for 18. Or AIS for 18. Either or. Wow, the game just kind of fired up towards the end there with some interesting racks, and opponents got a couple of minutes on their clock. That onion, I just thought I'm not going to score well with this rack, and then bang, it comes down. A bingo. Onion is a verb, so you can have onioning, I think. You can have onionia, more oniony, and I think onioning from memory is also correct. So, wow. Opponent looking to get rid of Pert. He can play it next to Zoner, so not sure. Okay, he has gone out. Thank my opponent for the game. 379 to 376. Wow, very close. Let's see what we missed. Back to the start, and Cells looks fine for 20. Then opponent exchanges from this horror show of a rack. No bingos here, but Remold for 31 was the highest score, but Mole for 7 points fewer with the better rack leave features as a slightly higher equity score. Not much in it though. Still a horror show there for opponent, although he has drawn the blank, so light at the end of the tunnel for him. PHT with IVV blank. Wow. It's having two V's on your rack, not ideal, but with the blank and an I, a lot more flexible. So he goes with hipped. And I exchanged here, which looks good. Now Vav with IRS blank seems like a fine play. Viva for 25 with RS blank. And Jota for 27, Yarp for 29. Yep, not much in it. Orthros. Orthros. It's 79 point. That's a tricky bingo to spot. Opponent goes with Ho. Now Dauf for 40. Ah, nice. Dauf. 4 for 36. Yeah, I mean this rack leaves slightly better, I think. DOUT. Than ATU, but or maybe similar. Anyway, the equity was better after Dauf, so maybe a slight miss there. Roki for 30, Yorks for 34, R blank leave, decent enough play by opponent, and then outshined. Look at that through the center of the board. Very nice. I didn't even think of playing through the SH. I was just thinking of 8s, but there you go. I went with Reduit, which was next best after that missed bingo. And opponent has Trehalas or Tarsiels and spots one of those highest scoring bingos. Now Convo for 2A. Convo easy score for opponent. I know we both would have had a triple word square, so that does soften the volatility a little bit, but it is actually a really good rack leave, so I see the merit in the move. But I mean, opponent already had a 30. It's hard to say, but I've decided to keep it a little bit tighter. But my play was quite inferior, I think. It just hardly scored 16 and did provide floaters, so maybe it wasn't best. Unbox for 44 opponent had, getting the X doubled, playing through the N and the whole word doubled. He went with Wabs. Now, no missed bingo. I took a while on this move, and 40 seems fine. Although co-eds, where was that? M2. Oh, co-eds. Okay, slightly better than CADs. Yeah, makes sense. And a better rack leave. So maybe co-eds better. Zoe for 47. Nice score. That was bound to come down sooner or later, that spot. And now opponent's got a slight lead, 37 points, and I have Phoebe for 29 or N free for 30 at 2i. ECADs and N free, very nice. I decided to go with Zona for 28. So that also limited what opponent could do with these floaters, the N and the O. And it took out a hot spot because there are a lot of extensions for ZO that are 5 letters long. A plethora. So happy to have pounced on it first. Now, opponent had a pretty strong rack here in terms of scoring potential. Quern through 2 disconnected floaters, a little bit risky with A's and T's unseen, and well, maybe not. Caddy, chins, the blanks unseen, so I don't know if it would have been because it's a big score, it might be worth the risk. Opponent goes with quote, and then fine looks fine for 31. Rugby, there you go, the sport. So 37, that's a nice score. Opponent had at 14F. Rugby getting the Y tripled twice, and the G above the triple isn't as dangerous as a vowel. I quite like rugby there, and EX is a strong rack leave. It almost guarantees a 30-point play next turn, or thereabouts. Now, Urbex, that's quite nice as well, a 2J. That's not a word you see very often. Urbex. I know Ibex, but not Urbex. So opponent opens up this trip, which was a bit of a godsend because I couldn't see a way of scoring well without opening the board up. And when you're a little bit behind like this, it's really risky to be giving an easy 30 points to opponent, because then he can really just control the board and coast to victory by closing down bingo lanes when that's the only way you can win. So I thought I'd stay in touch with opponent by acquiring 19 points. So now I'm in touch with just 18 points adrift, which is doable. Lurex for 36 looks fine. 2J. Again, that E hook for CADs. Perhaps opponent didn't know it. He goes with EX there, and then Onion was what got me out of trouble, because I'm now a bingo behind roughly, and with all these 1 and 2 point tiles, if I don't bingo, I've pretty much accepted the defeat. So that was great that I spotted it. Now, opponent has a pretty good rack, ligature onto an E, but no floaters to play through, apart from the E and the N. That's not going to yield much. Arguli for 36. Arguli, very nice. He goes with Ugali. Now 36, that's interesting because, yeah, I think at this stage the game is lost for opponent, because maximum of 36, which draws him exactly level, and then I've got some scoring potential. 22, I'm surprised that there wasn't something higher scoring, but Sagia and Sanger for 24. Where was that? 10J. Ah, nice underlap. So using the blank in at this stage, 24, and then almost certainly going out. Yeah, well, definitely going out on the next turn. But opponent goes out first anyway, so this was very close. So glad to have got in the 20s there. But Sanger and Sagia, those were the plays in the spot making JARPs. I'm surprised I didn't spot that, but I was under time pressure. So I went with Given and then Pert for 18. But actually, opponent had Preen. Wow. But then he wouldn't have gone out. So even though he scores an extra 2, I then play Psy for 18. Or AIS for 18. So Preen would not have done it. And that was the end of the game. I thought it was quite an exciting game, especially towards the end there. 1 or 2 small misses, I thought, but all in all, a pretty good game. Hope you enjoyed watching that one, and I will see you next time.